Here I am at Canyon Ranch in November 2024, roughly on the 20th anniversary of my discovery of the first energy vortex at Canyon Ranch.
Leslie, so when was the first time you learned about vortexes?
I was in Leslie Lupo's tarot card reading office, having a tarot card reading. At the end of the reading, Leslie said to me, there are some wonderful energy sources. She did not use the term energy vortex. Energy sources, why don't you go out and find one? And I said, Leslie, where are they? And she said, why don't you go to a cactus near the Health and Healing Center and see if you can find the center of an energy vortex. And I did. And that is how I found my very first energy vortex. And that first vortex, found in 2004, 20 years ago, was the Health and Healing Vortex in front of the medical center. Once upon a time, surrounded by a ring of prickly pear cactus with the vortex in the middle. Today, this is all that's left of the prickly pear cactus 20 years later. There are no signs flashing saying this is a vortex. You gotta find them. And then you put a stone like that in the center. And then when you come back, you can find it easily. Along with the center stone, one puts 1 feet on either side of a center stone, which I place each time I arrive at Canyon Ranch. And if you're capable of feeling the buzz from an energy vortex, standing in the center, facing in the right direction, all vortexes are directional, you are ready to use the vortex for your own purposes. Let's begin at the beginning with energy vortexes. First of all, an energy vortex is not a vortex like the water in the pool moving about. There is no movement of water or air in an energy vortex. It's a misnaming of a natural phenomena on planet Earth. But as the term suggests, it does involve energy, naturally produced electromagnetic energy that is greater than the energy found everywhere on the planet. There are energy vortexes all over Canyon Ranch, hundreds of them. There have been many changes at Canyon Ranch in the 20 years since I first discovered an energy vortex, and the energy vortexes have not changed at all, in case you're wondering. In 2013, Dr. Gary Schwartz measured the Discovery energy vortex, and here he is walking to it 10 years later, 11 years later. So here is the first scientifically measured vortex. So there is Gary standing with his feet on either side of the red stone there. What percentage of people can feel the increase in electromagnetic energy? Not scientifically measured, but based on my observations over 20 years, I'd say somewhere between 30 and 40% of people have the genetic ability to feel increases in electromagnetic energy. The next question one could ask is, what does this increased electromagnetic energy feel like? And there is a vortex way up there, the Serenity Vortex. So what does it feel like? It feels different for every person. Sometimes it's in the chakras, sometimes it's a buzzing in the heads. The answer is you have to go to an energy vortex with someone who can feel the energy, and then they will help you determine if you can feel it, first of all, and second of all, how it feels when you do feel it. This is the second scientifically measured vortex on planet Earth, the Sanctuary Vortex. Eric is a typical person who has never been to a vortex, and the question is, can he feel the buzz? And here's how we do it. Step one, are shown the center stone and have their foot on either side of the stone facing in the direction of the energy. So, can you feel the energy, Eric?
Eric would say no.
Okay, well, he must not be one of the 30 to 40% who can feel the energy. Let's put Leslie there and see what he says. I am now standing in the proper direction, and even a small shift can make the vortex very different. So I can feel the energy. What does it feel like? It's kind of coming right up through the center of my body. Well, here's Bliss. She and I actually measured this vortex scientifically. It took, I don't know, about an hour to do all of the 300 or so readings one at a time that Gary demanded. It was about as exciting as watching mud dry, and there's no mud to watch here. But we did prove that this is truly an energy vortex, and it is the most powerful on Canyon Ranch. Feeling the buzz means nothing. It's using the vortex. And how does one use the vortex? The science says that the energy in this vortex, which is increased electromagnetic energy and perfect grounding, and I'm close enough to bliss that I am also in perfect grounding, like earthing. So we have energy coming up and grounding. And because of the way the building and the stuff surround us, we're also in a sort of a Faraday cage-like environment. And if you get in that situation, your psychic skills increase. And one thing that I think about doing is to create something in the vortex. So the creation statement's in three parts. First, a mantra to focus yourself. Second is a statement of whatever it is you desire to create as if it had already happened. So no wills or gets. It's going to be haves and hads. And finally, you state emotionally how you'll feel when what you are creating actually happens. And you don't worry about how to create it. You just do it. So you're up, Eric. Say a creation statement for us, please.
I am a courageous, committed, driven leader. I have 100 new clients across my business all over the world, and I am thrilled and grateful.
And that's all it takes. Eric, you may leave the circle. It's not necessary to do anything. No special prayers, no nothing. Just move on and on to the rest of your day. Thank you. Well, let's move over to the Buddha vortex.
How do I stand, Leslie?
Well, go try it and see if you can determine the right way to stand. Now, how strong do you feel it there, Bliss?
Let's see here.
Now, how strong do you feel it?
Stronger.
Turn again.
Like do quarter turn.
Quarter turn. How strongly do you feel it?
I feel kind of strong, though.
Okay, turn again. This is how these are measured, by the way. You do these 4 turns. Now, how do you feel it? And this is the important, interesting feature of vortex. When you're standing exactly wrong, you feel nothing. You feel something at angles, and when you stand this way, it's the strongest. There are no signs flashing saying this is a vortex. You gotta find them. And then you put a stone like that in the center, and then when you come back, you can find it easily. The way to do this, of course, is to come to Canyon Ranch and talk to people in the metaphysics department and talk to the other spiritual people here and ask them to take you to an energy vortex. And I do tend to name vortexes after the locations at Canyon Ranch where they are nearby. Here is the Pavilion Vortex. Vortex right there is certainly the most accessible vortex at Canyon Ranch. Let's take a closer look at it. So for those vortexes that I manage while I'm at Canyon Ranch, I place a center stone. All energy vortexes are directional. This is the direction of the Pavilion Vortex. You put your feet on either side of the stone and look through the tree trunk. In summary, Canyon Ranch is the place to go for energy vortexes. Sadly, very few people, except for the staff here, who have the knowledge of the energy and energy vortexes will be able to help you find them. I went to Sedona and they knew about the vortexes, but they are not talking about directional. People assume vortexes have the energy in a big circle. That is not true. I was walking towards a vortex, the Warrior Vortex, with Bliss, feeling nothing. And then for some reason I turned around and I was smacked with the energy. It was stronger than any vortex here at Canyon Ranch. If you want to experience that vortex, go and stay at Enchantment Resort and go up to the Warrior Man and the Kachina Woman vortexes that you can see from the hotel. You will feel tremendous energy, so strong that it almost pulls you into the rock. But we don't know where the center is because it hasn't been measured. This has never been measured, so we don't know if it's scientifically real, but there is a feeling of energy here.